Kingdom, and given the 30th anniversary of Princess Diana's death is coming up next year, and we do believe that Harry is working on some type of major project to infuriate and devastate his brother around that anniversary, that the stunt was probably going to involve his mother in some way. And there's all of these clues about the fact that Diana is constantly on the mind of Meghan as well, with Stephanie Sidley pointing out that her latest as ever video shows Meghan wearing a new ring that resembles Princess Diana's and Princess Catherine's engagement ring. Stephanie says, "What the F?" and thanks Turquoise 2 for the intel. And there you can see up close that there certainly seems to be a similarity. But next month's visit has raised a lot of suspicion about what Harry and Meghan are intending to do at Althorpe, the resting place of Diana, which has been closed, a scheduled closure, unusual at this time of year, for 2 days when Harry and Meghan are here with their children. And royal YouTube sensation, according to Taz, who will be here shortly, has this to say. Harry and Meghan were bringing the kids for footage for the secret Diana documentary. The children at her gravesite at Althorpe would be gold for Netflix, but they knew if they brought the children over to do that and didn't take them to see the king, it would make them look bad. So they sprung it on the palace. Hence why Harry has suddenly had a change of heart, even though his security demands have not been met. They know there's a good chance the king can't drop his diary at a few weeks' notice. It's a win for them if he doesn't meet them, as they can't peddle the victim narrative, but if the king does, both they and the children increase their royal relevancy. Now, Tasha's going to be here to explain in just one moment, but first let me take you through this Daily Mail reporting in terms of what they describe as a hugely unusual clue that Harry is going to take the children to Diana's grave. This was first reported by Richard Eden, who said the Duke and Duchess of Sussex are expected to bring their children to see King Charles for the first time in 4 years, and they may also make a poignant visit to pay tribute to their late grandmother when they travel to Britain from California next month. I can disclose that Althorpe, the stately home where Princess Diana grew up, is to be closed to the public for 2 days while Prince Harry and Meghan are in the country with Archie and Lily. This is highly unusual. A source familiar with the Althorpe estate tells me once the house is open to visitors, it's not usually closed. The Northamptonshire estate, run by Diana's brother Earl Spencer, is open to the public for only 2 months of the year, July and August. If the family do visit, it would give Diana's grandchildren the opportunity to visit her grave for the first time. The princess is buried on an island in an ornamental lake in the gardens of Althorpe. Harry rode Meghan in a boat to the island when they stayed at Althorpe in 2022, on the 25th anniversary of his mother's death in a car crash in Paris. At long last, I was bringing the girl of my dreams home to meet my mum. Remember, that's what Harry wrote in Spare. After Harry placed flowers on her grave, he left his wife alone. When I came back, Meg was kneeling, eyes shut, palms against the stone. Earl Spencer invited his sisters, Diana's sisters, to join them on that occasion so that the Sussexes could spend time with Harry's aunt. Harry and Meghan officially coming to Britain to publicise the Invictus Games. Now, the regional proximity is pretty close. Althorpe, just 1 hour's drive from Birmingham, where that 1-year visit is due to take place. Now, when Annie Granny said there is no way on God's green earth Charles Spencer will allow any filming at his sister's grave, they keep it covered year-round because of drones trying to get a pic, not a single chance, and if they sneaked it, he would go absolutely ballistic. According to Taz replied,
Could Prince Harry and Meghan Markle be planning a highly controversial visit connected to Princess Diana's final resting place? New reports and online speculation have sparked debate over claims that the Duke and Duchess of Sussex could be considering filming during a future visit involving their children, Archie and Lilibet. While these claims remain unconfirmed, they've generated intense...
For those 2 days, quite a lengthy period of time to film something, to create some type of imagery, to take some photos for whatever becomes the 30th anniversary project next year. While Harry and Meghan demand special treatment and attack the royals, the mainstream media still protects them. On Outspoken, I call it out with no bias. So subscribe right now for the full story every day.
I personally do not trust Harry and Meghan, and when they have put out statements saying, of course we're not working on a Diana documentary, I personally do not believe them. They are both very obsessed with Diana. Harry has taken ownership over Diana's memory. Meghan likes to dress like Diana. It's not once or twice, it's been continuously. It's not just from a few years ago. Her latest thing to do with a PR company, they made me dress like Diana. Everybody said she was going to say that at some point, and there you go. No one in their right mind would have made her dress like the late Princess Diana. But the reason why I also think this whole trip, there's something more to it, because Harry has not had the decision from Ravik, and Harry knows to get the security that he needs for each visit, it's a case-by-case assessment by Ravik and the police when he gives them 28 or 30 days notice when he comes to the UK. He has sprung this. The children coming. We knew Harry was coming, but he has sprung it a couple of weeks before they come over, not giving the Met Police the full 30 days. Now, I don't believe that, I personally believe that he didn't initially tell them that the children were coming because they weren't coming. And I just think the way this is all played out, it's just been one big explosion. And you think that Harry and Meghan would be watertight if they know that they were going to come and bring the children to the UK. They would have made sure that Ravik and the police had more than enough time, maybe even longer than a month, to make sure that they would give them extra police protection, obviously, because they'd have their children with them. So they didn't just spring this on the king and the palace. They've also sprung this on the Met Police and Ravik. So it makes me think, okay, well, they've got to have been really desperate to bring the children over to not have that in place. And then when it started falling into place, reading that they may be going to Althorpe, how close Althorpe is to Birmingham, and then the dates that Althorpe closes, it does close actually. I think it's every year for those dates, so I don't think it's been shut down specifically for Harry and Meghan, but the timing for me is just a little bit too suspect, just because of years of covering Harry and Meghan, all of the games, all of the lies, everything that we've seen since Megxit. They plot, they plan, and this to me just seems like something out of Meghan and Harry's playbook, hence why they suddenly turn around and said, do you know what, the kids are coming. Again, a security conscious couple that want to make sure that their children are safe in this country and refuse to bring them so far would keep it quiet that the children are coming with them. The security teams that work with them would advise them, we will leave that quiet so the members of the public don't know until much, much closer to, to the time. And yeah, I mean, this whole thing has just got chaos written all over it. And I think that they would do something like that. And it's also Netflix are hanging on to them. They're throwing them little tidbits and bones. I don't think Netflix are hanging around for Carly Fortune's book. I don't think Netflix are hanging around because they might buy some sort of war film that Harry and Meghan are producing. Would they hang around for footage of Lily and Archie at Althorpe? Like, at Diana's gravesite, photographs? Oh, yeah, absolutely. That would be gold for Harry, for Meghan. Well, let's be honest, for Meghan. Harry would be stupid enough to believe that his wife just wants the children to connect with their grandmother. Harry, they might feel the spirit of your mother like I did, and he'd just follow along with it because it's Harry. But yeah, I think this is more to do with what this trip is about than what it was a reconciliation with the king, because Harry would have planned this a long time ago. And this has all just sprung up out of nowhere in the space of a couple of weeks. And it's absolute chaos. So that to me, it makes me believe they are up to something and it's never anything good.
And
So
Tash, let's
that's
just
not
be honest about it. Earl Spencer, and there's a huge amount of issues with that man, he has sided.
marriage. How many marriages is he on
Yeah,
now?
yeah, he's not a good guy. We don't even need to go into it, is he? He's not a
No,
good
that's
guy.
another video.
Yeah, exactly. I can't even really be bothered with the
No,
guy, to be
no.
honest. But let's just be honest about it in relation to this story, Tash. He has sided with Harry because
yeah.
Harry is much, much more interested in him because
Yep.
he has turned on his other relatives.
Yeah. No, that's true. That's true. Harry stayed with him reportedly when he came over for his other uncle's funeral, I think it was. You might want to correct me there, Dan, but I'm pretty certain that's where he stayed
That's right.
when he came over.
And he invited Earl Spencer,
Yeah.
remember, to the Invictus
To the
event at
Invictus.
St. Paul's, which was not attended by any members of the royal family. And so it felt like it was quite a moment.
And I think Charles Spencer also enjoys sticking it to the king and the royal families as well, royal family as well, as much as Harry does. Harry and Charles Spencer, I can see, use each other in that way to be like, yeah, this will rub Charles up the wrong way, because he's obviously always been not a big fan of the royals, obviously. But yeah.
Yeah, no, exactly, Tash.
But before you continue, sorry, people have
Please.
said to me that they do not believe wholeheartedly, they do not believe that Charles Spencer would allow footage again. He would ever allow footage of Diana's gravesite. It's been protected for so long. But I mean, could he make exceptions for Archie and Lily? Or could Harry and Meghan just say, no, of course we won't. Of course we won't take pictures. Of course we won't. I don't trust them. They're a couple of snakes.
No,
anyway.
Indeed. Speaking of people we don't trust, Tash, there was an extraordinary U-turn this week by one of the main columnists. You described them, Tash, as the Wicked Witch columnists in the Daily Mail. Now, we've already seen a U-turn from Liz Jones. Now Amanda Patel. And why this U-turn is so significant, Tash, is I just want to take you through some of her recent columns, okay? If we look at these headlines, look at this. Andrew's horrible stench is now engulfing William and Kate. And this was just one of many. Look, there's so many. Be careful, Kate. You don't realize it, but your inner circle may have inadvertently stabbed you in the back. She wrote, Kate is back, but it's time she faces up to this uncomfortable truth. There was Prince William needing to man up because his new obsession suggests he's forgotten everything the Queen stood for. Selfish William is in serious trouble. You know, the chickens are coming home to roost with grave consequences. There were just so many of them. The royals just don't get it. The monarchy's over, she said. William and Kate, this was another one that became the prince and princess of boring. William is the monarchy's next big problem. I mean, Tash, so much negativity. That's just a little selection. And you know a lot of it, and I know we slightly disagree on this, but a lot of my theory on this is that she has been particularly pushed by Tobin Andre, who's now the King's communications secretary, main courtier, who used to be her boss at the Daily Mail, to be pretty nasty about William. Anyway, total U-turn this week, which was good, but totally bizarre, because she now seems to understand that actually Harry and Meghan are the problem. With this new column headlined, Why Kate Must Stand Firm and Protect Her Family from the Sussexes' Manipulation, and most of all, her children. Let me take you through a bit of it, Tash, before you respond. Platel wrote, when the King graciously offered his younger son an olive brunch last week by setting aside time for Harry, Meghan, Archie and Lily on their first visit to Britain as a family in 4 years, there was one person who came to the forefront of my mind, Kate. Now, of course, we note the Daily Mail still refers to Catherine as Kate, which I think is rude. Frankly, I'm less concerned by the psychodrama between father and son than about the Princess of Wales. How she must feel about the homecoming of grifter Meghan, who has done so much to discredit her, coming back here to be embraced by the King at the heart of the royal family. The King has even offered the Sussexes a royal residence to use during their stay. Not very happy, one would imagine. It would only be human for her to feel slightly betrayed by such a heralded reunion. After all, both Sussexes have been so cruel to her. Like millions of loyal monarchists, I support William on this. I mean, is this what you call support for William? Because I've just literally shown you all of those headlines. You were saying that he was going to be the downfall of the monarchy, Amanda. But okay, there is no place in Britain anymore for Harry or Meghan. Cool. we agree. She says, I hope William keeps his pledge to maintain his distance from his brother for everyone's sake, not least for Kate's. Well, I'm not worried about that at all. William will keep his pledge on that front. The thought of the Sussexes swanning back, being embraced by the king, even if it is in private, as it must be, no photo ops for any new Netflix show, please, and seizing every PR opportunity to promote Harry's 2027 Invictus Games countdown is simply nauseating. For them to be given a world stage on which to perform as the prodigal son and daughter-in-law after they have done so much damage to the royal family beggars belief. Indeed, any sign of a Sussex lovin' risks King Charles losing support, his credibility, and his legacy. As a former spin doctor, I know optics are everything. So here's my message of warning to the king. Tread carefully here. We all understand your desire as the father still undergoing cancer treatment to see your son and grandchildren. But for God's sake, manage this visit wisely. Not least for Camilla, your loyal wife, who has also been attacked by Harry and must detest him as much as we do, nor should there be any public briefings about the reunion, or you will risk alienating the love and respect of your eldest son. William, who has stood by your side, fighting the good fight since the Sussexes departed. And William, you must stand firm and protect your family from the Sussexes' manipulation, which some have already derided as the emotional blackmail of a frail and elderly father being held hostage by his opportunistic son and his grasping wife. Most of all, William, protect Kate. My final advice goes to Princess Catherine